Are you in a career transition doing informational interviews? Let me help you focus with these 4 areas on how to maybe structure your informational interviews to see how good a fit this organization is for you. First area, listen. How well does an organization listen and communicate with you? Number 2, how well do they set expectations? Number 3, strengths, focusing on your strengths. And number 4, how well do they give you what you need to progress in that organization and develop? Informational interviews are the way you're going to find your job and really determine if you're a fit. It's not going to be from a position description. So you're going to go to an organization, going to meet people, network with folks in the organization, network with alumni, meet hiring managers. I'm choosing these 4 areas because Gallup says that workplace wellness, if you focus on these 4 areas, these 4 areas indicate people that are really happy in their job. So let's pick each one of them apart and think about, how do I structure my questions around informational interview so I can understand where this organization is. First one, does the organization listen? How well do they communicate? So ask some questions. What kind of inputs do we have at this level of the organization? How well does this organization listen? What mechanisms do they have for us to give feedback? What are other forums that they have? Whatever makes sense for this industry and your organization, what are the things that are important to you that you want to hear about? You want to make sure that you're heard from, and that comes back to you. So listening and communication, which is probably number 1. Next one, expectations. Gallup says more than 50% of the workforce does not very clearly know what is expected of them in the workplace. Well, that certainly can be an easy one. Focus on, how do you get your expectations? When you deliver something, is it delivered what you deliver? Are you critiqued on what was expected of you? Ask those questions so that way you understand that the workforce that you're going to, that you're going to work in, folks understand how to communicate with you on expectations. When I think expectations, I always think about these 3 things. What do I need to deliver? When do I need to deliver it? And how do I need to deliver it? So that way you can get an understanding of how that organization communicates with you on expectations for what you need to deliver. Okay, so those are 2. Let's go to number 3. Next one, strengths. You know your strengths. Remember that project you worked on where you were really strong and you really enjoyed working on that? What would life be like for you if you were able to spend 70% of your time or more working with your strengths? Work would be fun. You have an opportunity to work, be fully engaged, do things that make you happy, and do things that play to your strengths so you can really move forward. Ask those questions. You know your strengths. You've probably taken strength finders. You know the things you like to do. Spend time when you're working with your informational interviews and doing your interviews and working with hiring managers to make sure you understand how much of your strengths are going to be able to be used in this position. All right, last one. Do you get what you need to continue to develop and what you need to carry out your job? Is this a new organization that's low on a budget? Do you have the opportunity to develop yourself? Do you have the opportunity to ask for more equipment? Can I get more people? Can I get more budget? Can I have the ability to develop? Can I have more training? What about all those things? How does that work in this organization? If you get a good feel for an organization on how you're going to develop, you can understand the path that you're going to go on. Workplace wellness, these 4 areas. So think about how well they communicate with you, how well they listen to you, what are your expectations, are you going to be able to work in your strengths, and are you going to get what you need so that way you can continue to develop the way you want, and when you need something in the workplace, you're going to be able to get it. Thanks for listening. I welcome an opportunity to help you work on your career transition.